Chapter 76 of the Dragon Ball Super manga gave us a huge cliffhanger at the end where Monaito reveals to Granolah that not all Saiyans are bad. Granola's prejudice is incorrect because they were saved at one time 40 years ago by a Saiyan known as Bardock, who is indeed the father of our main protagonist, Son Goku. But now that means that the fight is pretty much going to be over between Granolah and the Saiyans. But where does the story go from here? I am joined over there by Mr. Senpai, and we're going to talk about it. Yeah, right there, bro. Right there.
What's going on, brother? It's good to see
Welcome.
you.
Yeah, so,
Looking, I just gotta say, you're looking good, bro.
bro, I
Like,
thank you.
listen, some pounds. Okay, all right. Let's get back to the
No,
topic.
that wasn't for you.
What?
That was for them. That wasn't for you. No,
Okay.
but look,
Yes,
we predicted a few months ago that this fight was going to end by being interrupted, and we were wrong and we were right. We said the Heeters were going to interrupt. No, it was actually Monaito. So we got that part right, but I was not expecting Bardock's name to get brought up here again. But here we are.
Yeah, that came out of left field. I was expecting a flashback because I did call it out that he was gonna have some sort of flashback to the past, and he was gonna see himself with the Shugarians. I said that the Shugarians were gonna be in trouble, and I said that. Didn't I say Vegeta was willing to kill the Shugarians?
Something like that.
If
Yeah. Whatever it
but
took.
whatever it took, but the whole flashback with Bardock or the mention of Bardock that came out of nowhere. But I like it because
Right.
now we can talk about what he actually may have done.
Well, we're going to
What
talk
did he
about that
do?
because I do think that chapter 77 is going to have another flashback, probably at the very beginning of the chapter, telling us what it was that Bardock did. I'm guessing that Bardock, when he showed up on the planet, I'm guessing when he was in grade 8 form. Remember, when a Saiyan is in grade 8 form, if he's trained to control his mindfulness like Vegeta was, he's not just going to be a raging animal. He might actually have self-awareness and control. So I'm guessing Bardock in his grade 8 form may have saved either Monaito or a Shigarian or Cerulean or somebody, maybe even Granola's mom for all we know, and then she died, maybe the Heeters were the ones that took her out. Like, what if that's the reveal? Maybe, or somebody related to them, or who knows? But I think it's pretty much told that he saved us, whatever us means. So it's gonna be somebody close to Granolah, if not Granolah himself,
We have a little hint. In the beginning, the first chapter of the saga, I think it was the first few chapters, we actually saw Bardock in his
with
graded
the
form.
scar
We
on
did
his
see it.
face.
Why did we see that? That was directly a flashback coming from,
Yeah,
well, you
40
know who
years
it
ago.
is.
40 years ago.
Exactly. So that person was actually there in front of our boy. But here's the thing: maybe what he saw is not. It's kind of like when you see something in the past when you're a little kid. You don't actually quite remember the specific details, and it's
Right.
very different to what. Right. So in his image, the way that he remembers things, Bardock, graded form, was attacking, killing people. But the opposite probably happened. Bardock was protecting him from the other Saiyans,
Possibly.
from because we did see there were other Saiyans there, and from Frieza's army. Because possibly at that point in time is when Bardock had the realization that, wait a second, something's not right here. And right after that, he went directly back to Planet Vegeta, which is where we saw Dragon Ball Super Broly and the
So
beginning of when we see Bardock.
you're saying you think that the events of what happened to Granola took place right before Bardock is on the ship in Dragon Ball Super Broly back to Planet Vegeta. So literally a day or so, maybe less than that, a few days before Frieza wiped them out.
That's why he came back by himself with just his pilot, right? Because possibly he went normally. So he went on a mission to destroy the people of that planet, Planet Serial.
Right.
But while he was there, Bardock changed his mind and he decided to save this remaining
And
person.
you think that may
And
have been, you know what? That might make sense with what Toyotaro said about Toriyama being a genius or whatever, because he was able to tie all this together. I don't know about a genius when it comes to that, but it is a good sort of tie in to the Broly story and to the story in that movie and in Dragon Ball Minus.
yeah, it explains that part of the movie that kind of didn't make sense. Like, why is he by himself with just the pilot? Where is he coming from? Like, that didn't make any sense. So now it does make sense with this explanation.
And of course, the fact that Goku looks just like Bardock when Monaito sees him, he's gonna know. Like, you're his son, you're related to him somehow. He's gonna know. And I think Vegeta will probably elaborate on this more because Vegeta knows a little bit more information about the Cerealians and what happened that day. So I think there's a possibility that that could also be that Vegeta will interject his version of the story as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, all right, moving on. Where do we go from here? Because we're going to get all that stuff now. We're going to get the Bardock reveal or whatever next chapter, but the Heeters are still there. Are we finally getting the wish? Finally, are we getting the wish?
Yeah, we are gonna get the wish, but it might not be the interruption that we were expecting,
Well,
right?
it
So
won't
the
be.
interruption, it won't be, right? Because the interruption was Monaito, but
Right.
we are still getting the wish, and which is why I believe that this is gonna be a turning point, and we're actually reaching the climax of the hero's journey. So the hero's journey is a storytelling technique popularly used even in trailers, like Marvel. They use that in trailers a lot.
And it was used
But
in Dragon
essentially,
Ball.
and it was used in Dragon Ball. Granolah, since the very beginning, this has been his story arc. Now, I know it kind of seems like this is Vegeta and Goku, but if you pay close attention, from the very beginning, he has followed a specific hero's journey,
An arc.
an arc, call to adventure, getting supernatural aid from the dragon, finding a mentor, which is Monaito, and now he is getting to the climax of it, which is essentially the second arc out of a 3 arc part, and that is the revelation, which we just saw in this chapter. But now, next chapter is the next part of this hero's journey, which is the transformation, and then it's followed by the atonement. So here's what I think is going to happen with Granolah. He is going to realize that his purpose, he thought, was to get revenge. But then he's going to realize, wait a second, that was actually never my purpose to begin with. That was false. My purpose is to make the ultimate sacrifice for my people, right? Now that he realizes that it was a Saiyan that saved him, and possibly Monaito as well, he's going to side with the Saiyans, and his journey is going to end by sacrificing himself somehow. I don't think
Okay.
he's going to come out of this alive.
Maybe sacrificing
That's
himself to beat 7-3, going back to something else we talked about.
to be 7-3 and protect maybe the Shugarians or maybe somebody
Or
else
Monaito.
to do what Monaito. So there's some sort of atonement that needs to happen in the hero's journey, and that's what I think is going to happen towards the end
or
of this.
he could at least lay off the beef with the Saiyans. I think this whole thing's going to make him realize that, yes, the Saiyans were bad. Frieza's bad for sure. And maybe they're not all bad. But do you think he's going to go after Frieza? Because that's still something that we're waiting for. And I think that's going to be his next quest, to go after Frieza, because he did order the attack.
Yeah, that's where now I'm split on. Frieza, we want him to come. We think that he will come, but at the same time, is that really necessary? If they're trying to wrap up the arc, we still have the Heeters, and let's say they use the wish, and then you have
I
OG
think
73.
we have a few more months on that one, though, man. Like, you're saying it's going to be very soon. I'm thinking not any more than like 6 to 8 months. I think we still have time.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is we have Frieza, but we also have the Heeters, right? So whatever their plan is, there's gonna be a villain there. So are we gonna have 2 villains that we need to worry about, or
Yeah,
is the
that'd be
whole,
great.
or is Frieza just something to kind of throw us off, to think that he is the ultimate villain, when in reality, Granola's journey is going to end with the Heeters,
Well,
and
he
he's
might
gonna get killed in that battle.
Right, he might still want to get revenge on Frieza just because it's Frieza, but I do agree with you that the Heeters are going to be the ultimate villains of this arc. I mean, it's been teased for months now that they're going to be the ones. Gas, Alec, that whole team is going to be the problem for Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah. So we are probably going to see them work together. I don't know about teaming up, but we are going to see them work together at some point, because if the Heeters do all wish for supreme power or immortality or whatever they wish for, it's going to take all 3 of them to kind of put an end to this and beat them. I mean, that's got to be what happens, right?
I'm happy you mentioned that, and this is why. You have a beaten Goku, a weakened Vegeta, and now almost losing stamina Granolah
With one Senzu.
with one Sensu. If in the next 2 chapters we see the Heeters and then they use the wish and then OG73 comes out, they may not even have enough time, or they may not even live to make it to Frieza, right? They're gonna need all the power they can to fight against, and that's what I'm saying, that Granola's journey is going to end against the battle with the Heaters, because he's gonna have to make that ultimate sacrifice, which is his whole purpose was to kill the Saiyans and then kill Frieza.
Right.
But he's gonna make that decision. You know what? I'm gonna put Frieza away, and I'm gonna sacrifice myself in order to fight off against the Heaters and protect these Saiyans, which is the ones that he originally wanted to kill in the first place. So
Right.
there's gonna be a sacrifice and atonement happening, and his journey is going to end there, which is genius if that is the case. Because remember, we were thought to believe that because of the wish, he was gonna die eventually in a couple of years.
Right.
But no, that's not gonna be the case. He's gonna die in this battle that's coming probably in a couple of chapters.
Yeah, and
that's what I
there's-
think is gonna happen.
And also, don't forget, there's still a backstory with the Heaters. Like, there is still something with the Heaters and Granolah. Maybe Frieza was going to sell that planet to the Heaters. I mean, there's a lot of. We still have a couple of big reveals left. I think Granolah finding out about Bardock and Goku and all that. That's, that's one reveal. But I think there's still more coming.
And that's where we get to the second hero's journey. So this hero's journey is all about Granolah, and it's gonna end here. But what about Frieza? Well, that can still be followed, because who has beef with Frieza is the Heater gang.
Well, they want
So
to
even-
conquer his empire, is what they want.
They want to conquer his empire, but that person, what is his name? The guy that looks like the other guy from the Heater gang,
Gas,
the little
Alec.
one. No, the other one,
Oh, I
the
don't
powerful
remember.
one.
I thought that was Gas.
No, Gas is the big one.
Gas is the powerful one. He's the one that they keep hyping up that we don't even know what's gonna happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
That's
that
Gas.
guy, I believe that he has some personal beef against Frieza.
I
So
see.
his hero's journey is actually gonna be the one taking us to Frieza, because we need to see Frieza one way or another. I
Right.
just don't think it's gonna happen with Granolah. I think we're gonna have a flip of the hero's journey from Granolah to the Heaters or Gas, following Frieza.
So what's Goku and Vegeta's role in that part of the story? That's not gonna be next chapter. That's gonna be down the road. 'Cause that they have to flesh it out slowly.
Yeah. Goku and Vegeta's role. I'm not sure. I haven't thought that far that far in advance.
They're just gonna help Granolah. Is that gonna be it? They're just gonna they're gonna be his side characters. It's whatever. I actually prefer that than having them get the spotlight. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So
But-
that's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you agree. Leave a like on the video, and we'll see what happens next chapter, man. But like you said, this is the turning point, and we'll see. Things are definitely going to change next chapter, no matter what. The fight is over, but there's going to be a new fight coming very soon. Talk to you later.